Hello, good evening. My name is Vita Sadanandan, and today is the 23rd of March 2026, and the time is 6:33 p.m. And the area of body we would be maintaining health of by the Nirbeeja Yoga method is the region of the rib cage. Now, I've done a live in the morning, and there's a recording of it on my profile page. And morning time, the physiology as experienced when the sun is just rising, different people are just beginning their day, and their circadian rhythms, their physiology, their thought lines affecting your physiology because, well, we are on the same planet, and our mirror neurons, morphic resonance field, space gets also affected by people around. We are like multiple galaxies coexisting in a limited, in a certain area, geographical area. So we have many family members under one roof. That's like many galaxies in one under one roof. And well, galaxies take their own space. Some are big galaxies, some are little galaxies, and there could be entanglements, and there could be bumping and bouncing of molecules. Yeah, we are like sumo wrestlers. In these parties, sometimes they wear these sumo suits and then go boing against each other. Yeah, but we don't see our sumo suits. We just walk into through our sumo suits. Yeah, and then we wonder why are we getting affected by something somebody ate, um, and they're having a tummy ache, and then your day is a little off. Yeah, all right. Which is why you need to do Nirbeeja Yoga because people brush their teeth but don't know how to brush their own body composition, which is at least made up of seven dhatus. Yeah. And there could be layering of other people's material. And if you're not regularly doing Nirbeeja Yoga, you are living somebody else's life because their particles and vehicles layer upon your particles and vehicles. And if you're sitting in an office with several kinds of people, that's a little bit of a marketplace. And then you go shopping, you sit in restaurants, you visit park, public spaces, relatives, marriages. Oh my God. Now that's a microbial party, because their body is also functioning by different kinds of microbes. And you are walking through their sumo suits. And then you're wondering why you're feeling sad for no reason. Yeah, and then you carry that stuff. And then you don't know how to, it's not energy cleansing. This is actually your seven types of substance. Rasadhatu, which is more like lymph, Rakta Dhatu, blood, um, Medusa, fat, yeah, Mamsa, muscle, um, Asti, bone, Majja, marrow, Shukra, reproductive fluids, yeah, and they all get affected. And people who, according to what you have been, birds of a feather flock together, that's more like your kind of layering of tissues, your kind of feather, which is having layers of, oh, I'm a poor little thing. And you go sit together and again layer the layering, and then you say, yeah, life is like this. See, what a bitch. Yeah, you know what a bitch is like. What life is such a bitch, and then you continue to live from those thought lines. You got lots of communities with how right they are about their worldview, which is that they don't know how to do Nirvana yoga. Yeah, otherwise you're living yesterday's life, or you were in college or in high school, and then since there you're living the same experience over and over. Then you'll say, this is why you put your kids in private schools. No, no, no. You don't know how to do Nirbeeja Yoga. Yeah. Because of which you don't know how to regularly recalibrate your body so that you're your original self. Um, Kabir Das also had this concern, how to maintain the fabric of his own body, to maintain it originally like how he was born. So that while he is influenced by many people, including teachers, he needs to have his own practice by which he's maintaining being original. And he wrote a poem about it. A lot of people have not read it. Those who have read it don't know what he's talking about. Those who do know about it don't know how to maintain their originality. And I happen to hear this poem, and I recognize what I'm doing is what he wrote a poem about. So not many people know about that, on how to recalibrate, how to do Nirbeeja Yoga. So you're maintaining your original humane self. And this live is about how you maintain your rib cage. Your body is like a multi-layered palatial house, vehicle, office, country, village, galaxy, universe, multiverse. Right, we got lots of influences depending on where you're sitting. And I'm sitting in a place which has a history, geographical history, and there are many kinds of people who also affect my galaxy, country composition. And then how do I maintain being me? I am like a vehicle that regularly cleans and updates its software and hardware, such that it is a newer version of itself. Yeah, and maintaining originality, being me, maintaining being human, and maintaining being humane, becoming a humane being. While there are several spheres of influencers, including planets, stars, and galaxies. Yeah. So yeah, it's a one piece. Yeah, that's why at some point internet came into existence, and we are all functioning by the internet. So my thought lines. I'm an enterprise who came up with original humane intelligence facilitation and Shrishti optimization thought lines. Just like the internet came at one point in time, you're all going to learn this. So you're amongst the first ones to listen to this. Yeah, industry first. This is like my work is like the human resource department of Earth.Inc. So when an enterprise over time becomes big enough to have a human resource department, the organization functions differently. Yeah, at some point, the internet came, the human resource department. So now, how do you take care of your human body, which may also be, now I can regard to our body as a thing, object, and alive, and consequently being a human, yeah, with a human body. So we will address the object while the subject is inside. That's how you kind of update the hardware and software while the vehicle is in a running state. Yeah, all right, you get the perspective of it. Now, the rib cage is one of the parts of the chest um, area, which also includes, now I have divided the chest into 4 parts. Actually, the whole body into 41 parts, 40 of them into 4 parts each. And then the 41st part is what I call the tail or schwa. Okay, this segregation I put up on a calendar, and the calendar I put up on my website, www.dynamicstillnesses.com, on which is a page named Dailies. And on that page is this month's calendar. And for today's date is mentioned chest rib cage, which is the third part of the 4 parts. That's just the chest. Okay. So the first was a thoracic inlet and the thymus. Second was the mediastinum. The third is the rib cage. Fourth is tomorrow. Yeah. Attend tomorrow, then you will know what happens. Now, the rib cage in the evening, when the sun is more setting, I'm in South India, Bengaluru. So there is a pleasant weather. It's a little summery, yeah. And people are just settling in from a hard day's work, mothers, children, different kinds of people. And my physiology is affected by them. And I have a body that's human and maintaining health from this part of the globe where all of us are on the same planet. So some of the differences in the evening life versus morning life is, for example, these many differences, sunrise versus sunset, and relative variations. And we are all on the same planet Earth. So what I'm doing is bringing attention to the chest and your physiological variation of, experience of your chest may be different from mine. But We have a chest and have a rib cage. An alive human being has head, neck, the thorax, the trunk area, shoulder, the rib cage, the spine, the pelvic region, plus or minus limbs. Kind of, standard alive model. Yeah. And take care of the chest, the rib cage area. Yeah. So that's the agenda for the day or for the session. Half an hour, 6:30 to 7. Yeah. Now, I invite you to bring attention to your chest and notice the movement of your chest while you're breathing naturally. So, no heroic inhale and then exhale, none of it. You can do that if you want to be able to pay attention to the movement of your chest. But for you to appreciate the natural movement of your chest, you would have to soften your attention so that you can pay attention to the subtle movements of your chest while you're breathing naturally. Now, if that's difficult, which may be for a lot of people, pay attention to your chest in terms of warmth, which would you would have to pay attention to the warmth in your chest, wherever you can notice warmth. And then pay attention to any softness in your chest, wherever you can notice softness. So that way you'd have to soften your attention because it takes something more to pay attention to warmth and softness. Now, this would be somewhere in the range of the infrared light by how you can pay attention to this. So, any microbes which may be affecting your chest area, get a little microwave experience. COVID, for example, I used to practice this quite a lot during the pandemic, and that's also one of the ways by which I was maintaining sanitization, yeah, of my body. So, different layers, but there are some health benefits like this. But the thing is, you're not cooking anything. You're just not, you're just providing an environment where your body-friendly microorganisms can survive. Yeah. So it's a little bit keeping the food warm using the microwave. This is a little bit of keeping your life well and fine and tasty, so to speak, because there is body food too. You don't know about that. Well, we'll be coming to all of that. What is body food? You're in sunlight. Say you go stand under the sunlight, noon, mid noon. You have vitamin D production. There is some nutrients produced in your body from paying attention to warmth and softness. It's a whole range of it's a new phase in medical care. Yeah, a lot of studies not yet done, but that's also we have now softwares and apps and many meta and creatives and movies and many things possible since the internet came. Yeah, it's a lot of things coming up. Yeah, so you're among the first ones to know this now. Pay attention to the warmth and softness of your chest. And when you pay attention to warmth and softness of your chest, you are likely to notice different kinds of movement of your chest. Some of them would be from your lungs inside your chest expanding and contracting. When you're naturally breathing, there would be an expansion and contraction of your lungs. And when your lungs expand and contract, the rib cage, which is very close, but inside, close to your lungs, but inside your chest, would also move if they can move. You would think that, like, given that rib cages that they will move, they can move to the extent that they can move. Because some people are so frozen inside from not having, regularly paying attention to warmth and softness of the body. Yeah. Then their intercostal muscles, the muscles in between the rib cage, may not have experienced warmth. If you have not been paying attention to warmth and softness of your chest, for example, the structures inside don't have an experience because the nerves may not have gotten fine enough to have the fine sensibilities required to pay attention to the warmth and softness. Yeah. And so what hasn't felt the warmth does not have the benefits of warmth. So it's like you're having a little, frozen food, meat, fish in the freezer. So when you're kind of every now and then taking some time to pay attention to warmth and softness and appreciating the movement that may be there in your chest, um, you may notice sometimes a little cold, like, you take content from the freezer, they thaw a bit. Yeah, so that a little bit of a cold comes out. Otherwise, it's in the freezer. You don't even know if it's cold or not. Yeah, it's only when you take it out, oh, it's cold. So you would be a little more aware of how's your health. If you don't feel cold, then there's not there. You've been warm enough. You didn't even know you were paying attention to your chest. Yeah, different faculties. It's like you have a phone, you use some of them. What the features of the phone that you have been using, yeah, you know them. What you don't know, you don't know. You can't miss what you don't know. Yeah. And now there's an opportunity for you to know of, there's this Johari window. I know that I know. I know that I don't know. I don't know that I know. I don't know that I don't know. There are things you know, there are things you don't know. This would be an opportunity for you to kind of make some notes about some of the things you know and some of the things you don't know, and continue to make notes, because there are a lot of things you are just going to be knowing a little bit. But you would be a little more informed about yourself and kind of documenting, categorizing what you know and don't know. So, knowledge is also confidence, because you can be sure you certainly don't know this, and can be sure you certainly know this, or to the extent that you do know. Or you may be so confident you know this until you get a new bit of information that has you question everything you've known. Yeah. That's an opportunity for leveling up. Once you see you've come to the point that you thought you know it all cookie, and then you see something else, is then when you'll become humble. Yeah. And then you look at what is that you have not known, preconceived notions, you think about stuff, and then you have a better understanding of things. Yeah. And your life will also be better now. It would help you to bring your attention to the sides of your chest. Now, this is a little more danger zone, because you could be a little more not aware of the sides of your chest. That's like you have the stitch of a shirt. You kind of keep it together by the seams until you may not know what you're holding inside your chest. There could be emotions, there could be nervous responses, there could be fear from maybe past life experiences, because your tissue memory holds different experiences. You have lived with the same body all through since, well, while you was in your mother's womb all the way till here. So there would be layers of experiences. I mentioned about seven dhatus, seven substrates. And you have many, many body parts, cells, tissues, organ system. You have a lifetime. You're like a walkie-talkie house, office, vehicle, but also multi-layered palatial house. And you would be thinking, oh, me, on this whole big world, this whole country, in this big family. Yeah. Consider you're like a textbook you haven't read in a while. Who is listening here? I don't know. Like a textbook you haven't read in a while. But there would be reason why you haven't been reading that textbook. Maybe because your interest lies anywhere somewhere else, or you don't even know what your interests are. Well, you start studying this textbook, the textbooks of your body. You will know what you have been interested in, why you haven't been interested in that textbook. Yeah, you're likely to gain better marks once you get a little more familiar with this relationship between your body, your life, but also your textbooks. Yeah, and your phone too. You're likely to use your phone a little differently. This is like Intel inside, idiot outside. No, Intel inside, intelligent outside. An intelligent person uses Intel differently. Yeah. Otherwise, it's another data entering searching option. All right. Okay, let's get back to the rib cage. You could be caged inside, but until you warm up, you don't know that your rib cage is actually protecting the content inside. Yeah, the treasure house. So you're just beginning to warm up to what do you have. Yeah. Now, I'm going to bring your attention to the sides of your chest and notice the movement of your chest in terms of warmth and softness. Because uh, now it's repeating myself. That's the thing. Your nervous system could get, you're saying the same thing, a little bit of an irritation. But that's also because Well, when something is being repeated, you may be a polymath, yeah, who can listen to things once, second time. I'm saying stuff. I'm repeating the same words, but in a different sequence in a sentence. Yeah, there's a slight variety. Now, it's a different kind of music. It's like progressive house. Yeah. So the front of your chest moves front and back. The sides of your chest moves out and in. The back of your chest moves back and front. Yeah. Because you're like a cylinder. Now, you know this knowledge wise. Now try feeling it. Pay attention to warmth and softness and feel the movement of the sides of your chest. Now, they may not be as textbook like, left and right or out and in. You might notice a variety of movements. That will only come to your attention when you pay attention to warmth and softness. And you would have to, when you pay attention to warmth and softness, in the range of, warmth, you could notice warm, cold, cool, no, warm, cold, cool, hot. Any of this. Some parts of your body feeling a little hot, maybe or a cold, or a little cool, or warm. So you could have a range in just the temperature. We haven't come to softness. Softness is from the density of the tissues. Yeah? You're like, oh my God, we have a lot of variety. Okay. Just pay attention to warmth. Notice where is warmth in your body. There could be many other types of temperatures, but you're only looking for warmth and you're only looking for softness. That is manageable, doable. Out of the many things that there is to study, yeah, to be aware of, it's your own body. You have a lifetime of experiences, jam-packed, chock-a-block forming your body, yeah. And you may or may not be writing your life story, but then they're all forming the tissue memory of your body in layers, 7 substrates at that, yeah. So I told you, jam-packed galaxy, what have you, country, village, universe, multiverse. Oh my goodness, we just haven't begun. Yeah. Now, we're only talking about the chest and about the rib cage. We're keeping it simple. We're keeping it simple. Yeah. Warmth, softness, and any movement you can notice. Okay. About the sides of your chest, not anywhere else, just the sides of your chest. And some of the density of tissues. When I said softness, there could be other kinds of densities. For example, you could notice the bones. The bones are more denser than the muscles, than the skin. Yeah, different kinds of softness. Cartilage is kind of softish bone. Yeah, ossified becomes a little hard, but it's a denser form of bone. Muscle, a little stiff, is a denser form of a softer muscle. Yeah. uh, Thickness or texture. Textures are different. We're not coming to texture right now. That's another variety. You don't want to know about that. It's like you have a subject. You just started school. Now they talk about history, language, mathematics, science. Yeah. We're not going to all of that. Just warmth. Soft. Sorry. I told you, it's like you have the internet and it's like a whole university. Yeah. About internet, so to speak. Okay, I'm giving an example. It's not an intense internet. You have, well, history and history, whatever has been studied under the sun thus far, you're going to learn when you study the human body. I told you, okay, you're not ready for that. Warmth, softness, yeah, or any sense of moisture. It's like you're carrying around a teddy bear. If somebody like me is just talking about big and overwhelming stuff, pay attention to warmth and softness and moisture and let people talk what they're talking. You will be fine. You won't lose it. Your nerves will also be fine. And you can listen to what you want to listen or what you can listen. Otherwise, lot of talk. You can only eat what you can eat. Then you can go to a buffet, all kinds of dishes. You can eat only what you can eat, according to the size of your stomach or the size of your appetite. So, chill. There are all kinds of people. I'm talking to a planet full of people, and I don't know from where you're listening from. I'm speaking from South Bengaluru. So I can't see who's listening. Yeah. So, and we are all on the same planet Earth, thankfully. Yeah. Can you imagine how much I would have to speak? Yeah, like we have a new subject. Ew. We have the internet. We are all on the same planet Earth with good, nice reason because we don't even know our human body. And, opening up life space in other planets, that would be like you don't know how to clean your own planet. You put satellites and stuff into space and then, make a junkyard out of that also. And you want another planet. Yeah. Life would be like, okay, you should think about how intelligent we are. All right, I'm just giving an example of how God, omnipresent, yeah, what must be going on through God's audio, organize, almighty dotting, thinking about we have life, lots of potential. We have a human being, human body, lots of potential. And then it's about, let's see, will they get intelligent enough to take care of their own planet, their own house, their own body? Yeah. Otherwise, they're going by humanity across boundaries and oh my God, religion and how you manage information and kiki kiki. Yeah. Making all kinds of sounds, all kinds of languages, but can't even communicate to each other. Well, if you can understand what's going on in your head and you can write in your book about what you're noticing about your body, about your emotions, your thought lines, you are wiser than you were in the morning. Yeah. Which is a wiser person on the planet than a whole lot of people who don't know there is this notes to take. Yeah. There are benefits to education. So you be wiser, yeah. Mind your own business. And also learn to care enough. We are all on the same planet Earth. You can take care of yourself. You can care about what there is and can help other people on the same planet do well, healthier, wealthier, wiser. That's a whole lot of people who would be healthier, wealthier, wiser on the same planet that supports human beings over several civilization lines. Yeah, that would also be civilization. Otherwise, we are like animals, warring tribes. Only we are not warring tribes. We just won't talk to them. Yeah, humanity cross boundaries. Be a little more caring. It's just we get to a better place. We have WHO's global list of diseases formed after United Nations formed. And then the World Health Organization made a list of diseases. For anybody who can care to bring down that list, you care about some of the diseases that's there in interpersonal relationship or in your own health maintenance, that's one person less than from that list. That person, you're healthy enough to not be in that list or you have anything from that list. Slowly, slowly, we'll get to be a healthy civilization, which is still good enough, yeah. And then we have other problems to think about, yeah. Well, on that note, your ribcage, yeah. Now, if you're a little more freed, yeah, from the cage that's your rib, and you can breathe a little more better, that's a more freer individual, having a little more independence, so to speak, in being able to think a little fresh, a little new than has been able to be possible. Or you're thinking better than you could in the morning, which is still, again, you're 0.1% better than you was yesterday. You're a better winner. And then 0.1% into 365 days, you'd be at least 37.6, so my math is bad. Yeah, percentage better than you were last year, which is still good. Keep going. Just make those notes little by little. Segregate them. We got lots of material. Yeah. Or you could contact me on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. I told you it's a business. This is my work. It's about facilitating original humane intelligence in a world functioning by, well, artificial intelligence and thinking in terms of consciousness, but can't think in terms of conscience. So conscience is another conscience, conglomerate science. You have many kinds of sciences, and then how then do you put it together without losing it? With maintaining the sanity and then improving the common sense, and then having a conscience, conglomerate science, where bits of information all come together, and you're still having a normal, ordinary, harmonious life and living, not surviving life. So that takes a little bit of science, don't you think? Yeah, a little ingenious science now. I call it meristem intelligence, MITI for short, MITI. Learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. LEARN dot dynamicses.com. Yeah, I'm slowly building community, but then if you're in there, you get to learn. Take care of your learning, and then over time, those who care enough to be there also learn. I told you, we're just beginning. Internet at some point began, and now we are conversing by it. So, beginning up. So, you're going to be amongst the first one there. You have the advantage. Now, the rib cage. When you're sleeping today, try and pay attention to the pillow you're sleeping on, because that would affect the kind of breathing you would have. If it's a soft, cloud like pillow, soft, which you can't even feel when you're sleeping, your neck and your bones of your head and your spine, for example, would experience not having to be so firm. And what that does is it allows for your muscles to not be firm. They can also relax a bit because you're kind of sleeping on a cloud. Yeah. That if it's going to scare you, no, you're going to be sleeping on your own bed unless you're going to be buying a new pillow and an entire bed set overnight because I recommended that would be something. It could actually even sometimes EQ because you're not familiar with it. So pay attention to what is the material you're sleeping on. You're like, given that, you know that. No. You have the same human body. Now I'm inviting you to advising, suggesting you pay attention to warmth and softness. And you discovered something new about your body. The same bedding, same pillow, when you're sleeping, pay attention to your body in terms of warmth and softness, and you're likely to experience your own bedding, your own pillow, your own duvet differently. Yeah? Same life, same people. Your experience different has you experience what you have differently. You got to try this out. Yeah? Now, if that helps your ribs breathe a little differently, have you sleep a little better, that would still be a success. Yeah, because you would be a little more free in the rib cage, and the rib cage is protecting the goodies inside. Yeah, rather than not knowing what you have. So, on that note, I think I will pause for now. Yeah, and we do want a little bit of goodies at a time. A little. Now, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day.